Lisa Left Eye Lopes. In all honesty, I should just be able to say that, and you guys should know every single thing I'm about to say next. But I know half of you don't, so I'm prepared to tell you. Lisa Left Eye Lopes is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, and she is best known for being a member in the amazing girl group TLC. She was born on May 27th, 1971, which makes her a Gemini. She was born in Philly, so of course she has that Philly girl aesthetic. She is very soft, sweet, but a little bit hard around the edges. She was in the girl group TLC with T-Boz, Chili, and Lisa. So as you can see, it was all their names. Very cute, very cute. They were very famous for the songs Scrubs, I Don't Want No Scrub, I Don't Want No Scrub either, and Waterfalls. Lopes, her rap style was always very distinctive. We always knew when it was her, like always. So how did Lisa Left Eye get the nickname Left Eye? Well, she used to wear condoms on her eye. So this for her symbolized like safe sex. She was very much, I guess you could say, like an activist. She definitely talked about, and their songs had a lot of hard-hitting issues. So they weren't all just like pop culture, not talking about things that didn't matter. They talked about a lot of things that had a lot of notoriety and importance during this era. So Lisa Left Eye Lopes did have an incident with her ex-boyfriend, and this occurred in 1994 when she was dating NFL player Andre Rison, and basically she burnt down his house. Like she burnt that shit down the ground. Like she burnt it all the way down. All the way down. And the way the story goes is the two had a very volatile argument. It was very heated. It was very passionate. It was very just bad argument. And Lisa threw Andre's sneakers, all his sneakers. I'm guessing he probably had some Jordans in there. I don't know. He probably had some really good sneakers in there. And she threw them all in the tub. She threw them all in the bathtub. And she set them on fire. She set them on all the way fire. And she was like, we don't need no water. We're going to let this motherfucker burn. And she did. And it burnt down the whole house. Oh. So Lopes was charged with first-degree arson, and she actually received 5 years probation along with a $10,000 fine. No bueno for Lisa Lopes. No bueno. And she actually had to do therapy in an inpatient like halfway house. So this was a big incident, and it got a lot of media attention, and the public were all eyes, not just the left, the right too, all eyes on this whole incident. So even after she took down the shoes and burnt down the house, they actually reconciled and had a relationship following this incident. And then she continued to release more music with TLC, Crazy, Sexy, Cool, and Fan Mail. But a lot of people feel like Lisa Lopes knew there was more than just being in a pop / R&B / rap group. And she actually went on and had a bigger quest of knowledge in her life. And she actually went on many spiritual journeys and many spiritual retreats. And a lot of people believe that she actually predicted her untimely demise. And while Lisa Left Eye Lopes never really left the group, there was a lot of conflicts, a lot of he say, she say, just a lot of chitter chatter, and in all honesty, a lot of tension in the group. And in the early 1990s to the 2000s, Lisa Lopes basically reported that she was frustrated with TLC. She was also frustrated with her bandmates and the fact that they felt like they weren't getting paid right. And I can believe this, especially in this time. A lot of singer-songwriters were just not getting paid what they were owed. But they continued to work together, and Lisa Lopes actually had a solo project called Supernova back in 2001. So let's get into Lisa Lopes's spiritual journey and her overall unfortunate events that occur within her life that a lot of people feel like were almost like predictions or foresight of what might happen next. So a lot of people believe that Lisa Lopes predicted her death due to a lot of eerie circumstances and coincidences. But if you are like me, you know that nothing is really a coincidence. The cosmos talk. The energy talks. Let's talk about it. So these are the key points that people believe that the documentary that Lisa Lopes was almost like a perceived notion, or she kind of preached it into existence. So Lisa Lopes was filming a documentary calling The Last Days of Left Eye. That was the name of the documentary. Now I just want to remind you guys' words are extremely powerful. She basically took a trip to Honduras, and during this time she was in a spiritual retreat. There was like a lot of community work and there was a lot of footage, and it was multiple times in this documentary where she discussed life after death, and it almost seemed like a spiritual awakening, a spiritual ritual, or a spiritual area where she was basically reflecting on mortality. Then there was a car accident, and shortly before her fatal car accident, Lisa Lopes was involved in her own car accident where a child in Honduras actually fatally died. And it was very tragic, obviously, and it was very tragic to her. And during the documentary, she even showed the shoe of the child who passed away. And a lot of spiritual reflection shows that she had a lot of statements around death and the demise and the area of fatality, which I think, in all honesty, people should have. Let's be honest, death is a very hard topic to talk about. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I do think that a lot of people should understand that it is something that is guaranteed for all of us. And a lot of people felt like her remarks were kind of setting the stepping stones to her own fate. I mean, in all honesty, I'm not sure, but I think she was very, I guess you could say, not only did she have the left eye, the right eye, but she also had a third eye. And she was very intuitive. Lisa Lopes also kept a journal. It was known that she wrote her feelings, her areas of what was going on in her life, and it seemed like she was very much centered around that something bad was going to happen to her, and there was this notion of an impending death, an area of fatality coming her way. And Lisa Lopes talked about in a lot of interviews and a lot of areas of references in her personal life. She had a strong understanding of the energy of the life, of the energy of the occult, of the energy of numerology, and also astrology. That is kind of believed to be like her areas of passion. And of course, the spiritual retreats, as she talked about, like the one in Honduras. She definitely practices spiritualism and had a journal, and she was very much centered with her own energy. So I do feel like she did have some type of intuition that something was going to happen to her. And I'll be honest, I've never read her birth chart, but since we are coming up on 30 years of her burning down the house of Andre, let's look at her birth chart. So Lisa Lopes is a sun in Gemini. She is a Cancer moon, and it is believed that she has an ascendant in Leo. So automatically with the Cancer moon, this girl's psyche is high. She's very intuitive. She's very spiritual. She's a moon baby. She's a moon center. She loves the moon. The moon loves her. She also has a Mars in Aquarius, a Saturn in Taurus, and a Mercury in Taurus. But anytime somebody has some type of spontaneous death or passing, I'm going to look at the Uranus and the Pluto. So her Uranus is in Libra, and it is in her third house, which I think that's why she was so spontaneous in her areas of partnerships and also communication. And the fact that her passing really obstructed the whole social circles and her social network and who she was as an individual created a huge uproar in the area of society. So what's interesting is that her Pluto and also her Mars are both in the sign of Aquarius, the area of the collective, and it is in her 7th house of partnerships. And it is in like direct opposition of her Leo ascendant. This area feels dark, it feels angry, and it feels spontaneous in areas of what a leader she could have been, and the fact she was taken away way too soon. I'm definitely going to have to do a full deep dive on her birth chart, so make sure you follow for more.